Hey, homie.
Hi.
For years, parents, teachers, and even the police have been warning kids against talking to strangers online. We've all been bombarded with talks and presentations and articles warning us about the dangers. Then why is it that young people today still seem to be reaching out online?
I think with like online friendships, it's a lot easier to get to know each other better and share a lot more because you feel like, oh, even if they do like leak my secrets, they live far away, so it's not really going to affect me here.
I feel like it's easier to talk to internet friends, especially because it's just texting. Like you don't have to say it to their face or anything. And even if you do, you've bonded over a similarity you have, not just because like you both go to the same school or something like that.
With constant media streams like Instagram and Snapchat and other social media platforms, it's no surprise that people have started connecting with people with the similar interests to them online. And yet, having no experience in this area, most adults seem to think they know who's on the other side of the screen.
When I think about an internet friend, I think of a 45-year-old troller who is looking for innocent people and they're going to take advantage of them.
And there's too much room for anonymity and people hidden and creepy guys to do creepy things.
Yet, despite the stigma that adults have been pushing on teenagers for years, the difference that internet friends have posed on teenagers seems to be more positive than negative.
They've definitely made like a pretty big difference because I always have someone I can go to when I need like emotional support or if I'm having problems that I can't talk to anyone else about. And they help me get through it.
Because I'm not there personally, I'm always able to like reach out 24/7 over text to just to check if everything's okay, and if I ever have any issues, they're always there for me.
The friend that I was talking with you about made a huge difference in my life.
How?
Me and him have, when we started to actually connect and talk to each other, I was during a rough time in my life and his, so we kind of like bonded over that, and we grew a stronger, more developed relationship over time.
I wouldn't be the person I am now without her.
Now, before we move forward, let's take a couple steps backwards. What is an internet friendship? Well, by definition, an internet friendship is a relationship made between two people online. They can be made in different ways, through online dating, through social networking, through similar interests, through online gaming, and through professional relationships. Yet somehow, those don't seem to be deemed as sketchy or scary as regular online friendships. According to the Pew's Research Center, 57% of teenagers have made friends online. That's a huge number for it to not be talked about. It's all hush-hush, like a huge secret that everybody knows. So if everybody knows about it, why is nobody talking about it? Maybe it has to do with the fact that because of this stigma around it, teenagers are afraid to tell their parents.
We are together, so it's a little bit, I was afraid they're going to be a little bit skeptical about if they were actually saying who they were, because often there's things about being catfished, so I know that my parents aren't as into the technological world, so when I tell them that I'm talking to someone online, they get really worried that I'm talking to someone who's fake or is pretending to be someone they're not, and it obviously will worry them, so I was afraid that it was going to lead them to worry about me.
One of the most interesting parts for me about doing this documentary is when I interviewed my own parents, I got to watch their opinions change on online dating and how that kind of works.
Wow. I never would have connected those two thoughts, that an internet friend and eHarmony or any of those things are essentially the exact same thing.
Oh, yes, absolutely very different. Very, very different. And here's why. If you don't go to a community of interest, you meet people of similar interests, that becomes a friend. If you're looking at a dating site, a lot of people are on dating sites for hooking up, which is not the intent of people looking for a date. So it's, I guess, riskier. You're less likely to find that person on a dating site than if you were to find them on a community of interest site.
I actually think that in today's day and age, if you're smart and if you're very, very careful, meeting somebody online is the same as meeting somebody at a bar, or in fact could actually be safer than meeting somebody in a bar.
Something I've never seen internet friends compared to is pen pals, which is interesting to me because in my brain, they're essentially the exact same thing, but with longer waiting times in between messages.
Pen pals, you don't really get to see a lot of emotion.
I feel like internet friends are like more personal, I guess, than pen pals. Like there's more of like a connection, I guess.
Pen pals, there's kind of like a delay between each message essentially because obviously it's letters, so you're dealing with that kind of time and distance as well. Whereas internet friends, you're kind of just dealing with the distance between you two. It's like you can talk to each other on any platform, any time of day, really.
I've got no idea how one would get a pen pal. That's like totally randomness.
It's more like writing back and forth and you only see that one side of them. But if when you meet them on the internet, you meet like their whole figure, kind of like their personality, how they talk, what they think, like all this other stuff that you would see in a regular person if you would meet them in person.
Are you likely to find someone of similar interests that you like hanging out with and chatting with by randomly sending a letter to somebody or getting a list from someplace? No, at least on the internet, you've got people that you'll probably find interesting.
I think pen pals is more of like a short-term thing, while internet friends last a lot longer. Pen pals is definitely more of just kind of like sharing experiences, kind of giving advice, while I think internet friends is definitely more of that connection of friendship and relationships and different, it usually lasts a lot longer than pen pals.
Overall, I think one of the most rewarding parts about having an internet friend is meeting them in person for the first time and just the magical feeling that it is of seeing this person who you shared your thoughts and your fears and your secrets with, actually seeing them in real life for the first time and being like, oh my god, they're real. Oh my god, they're here.
I've met one of them, and we met at a concert, and we've gotten together a few times after that, and it's been a really good time.
I have met him twice. One was in August of this 2017, and one was just about a month ago.
It was great. He was very kind, upfront, and he was exactly how I imagined him to be. Like when we were to FaceTime, he acted the same. He was the same person, so I felt comfortable after the first 10 minutes.
Yes, twice, and it was a lot of fun, and yeah, Canadians are cool.
And it was actually really good. Like it was a good bonding experience. It was better to have that in-person connection than it was online, and it was a little weird going back to it after, but it definitely brought us closer.
So let's go back and do a quick summary. For starters, internet friends aren't going away, despite the forced stigma. In fact, they've become so popular that even the Facebook moms have tried to hop on. 2, teenagers know the risks, and if anything, internet friends have become way safer since they started. Snapchat, Instagram, and FaceTime have all made it harder for a troller to be successful in whatever they're planning. And 3, the rewards of having internet friends hugely outweigh the risks. Teenagers are making lifelong friends online. So the concept and reality of internet friends has come a long way, and if people actually start talking about them, maybe we can make this stigma disappear entirely.